Of the researchers. Ma'am, over to you. Trying to, yeah, but I'm not seeing the cursor. The thing is not moving. No, no, that's not the one.
Unless we escape.
Where's the cursor? Oh, there. For what? You're sleeping. That's it.
Afternoon, colleagues. Thank you for the invitation. And I trust that you've had 2 fruitful days of engagement at the conference. I think as the NRF, given that we are in the system with NIHSS, we appreciate such interventions and invitations to speak to you who really are the audience we are looking for in terms of our funding instruments. So my presentation today will focus on funding opportunities that the NRF has for postgraduate students as well as early career researchers. I know the focus is on the Sachi chairs, which the NRF is funding, but through the Sachi chairs as well, we do fund some postgraduate students as well as early career researchers and postdoc fellows. So it's just a sense of what we fund within that space. And I think it's very timely. I was telling Prof that the NRF calls open in February next year. And so just prepare you all, those who are interested, to begin preparing your submissions to actually apply next year. How do I move across? Okay, I'll use a cursor. Okay, so my outline will focus on the NRF, our mandate, just a brief about who the NRF is, what we do, and why we do what we do. Then just the human capital pipeline that we are looking to fund across the different career paths, and then focus on some of the opportunities that I spoke about, the grant values within those opportunities, and just a short brief about the application process on our new granting system, NRF Connect, and then open up the floor for some questions and any engagement after that. So the NRF, and it's quite surprising sometimes when we talk about the NRF, not everyone in academia or in our institutions knows who the NRF is, and it becomes a pity because NRF is one of is the premier research funding body in the country, given that we are an independent body established through the NRF Act number 23 of 1998. And so our mandate is embedded in 4 areas, which is to advance knowledge, given that is our chief focus, because we support research and the provision of research platforms and infrastructures for research. Again, focus on transforming lives, given our country's historical past, looking at how we change the landscape of our researchers in the country and who and how we fund. Then also work to inspire a nation and focus on science for science and not science for society, and not just science for science's sake, because science does not act in a silo. The research that we do as researchers focuses on communities, focuses on the work that we do within those communities. And so then want to highlight science for society and not just for science's sake, and look at awareness and communication of the research that we do. Then also because we work within a system, how do we strengthen the NSI space, given the synergies and partnerships with different partners in the NSI space? So again, our mandate and vision really speaks to knowledge and research as being the epicenter of national development. As I said before, we don't focus on science for science, but science for society and how we work then to improve society and our goals as a nation. And so our critical areas that we focus on are transformation, impact, excellence, and sustainability. And again, just speaks to how we fund, and if you look at our funding instruments, you'll see these 4 critical success factors embedded in all our funding instruments. So a big key thing that we focus on is transformation, given that we need to meet equity targets that are set by the ministry and that's now our twin ministries, DSI and DHET. And so then how do we embed transformation in terms of our funding instruments? And the key area was to actually have a transformation framework that the NRF works through. And so the key 4 pillars that we attend to are transforming our equity profiles of our postgraduate students and researchers. We know from previous history and currently as well that we have an aging cohort of researchers, and given our past, our researcher cohort was primarily white. If you look at how we fund BAP, we recognize that even within different tracks, people are looking for different things. And so then we've segmented the PhD track. If you are at the tail end of your PhD program, and you only need a few months to finish up your program, and we can get funding for 6 months for you to finish up and graduate, or a year, 2 years, or 3 years as a maximum period as well. And the post-PhD track, we fund for 2 years. Looking at the Tutuka grant is a one-on-one co-funded program. So NRF gives a portion, and the university then gives a portion that's similar to what NRF has funded you. And the full amount that one can get from the Tutuka grant is a maximum of 300,000 grants per year. And we fund a grant holder for a 3-year period for this program, and one can get funded for 2 cycles. So you can be in the Tutuka program for 6 years if you've funded from the onset of the program. Tutuka also is one of those programs that you can then attract students onto your program as a grant holder. And this is the process of your students applying based on you getting the Tutuka funding. And you can get honors, masters, doctoral students into your program. So Tutuka, Sachi, and those other programs then get on students and are called grant holder linked programs. So it's important, even as we talk about the funding instruments, that we actually ask and beg those who want to apply, read the funding instruments before you apply. I think we see people falling off because of silly mistakes that were made. We do have the frameworks and the application guide on the NRF website all year round. We only change them when the call opens, and we put on the new framework for that year. But throughout the year, the frameworks stay on the website. Check that particular instruments, check on the scorecard, check on the requirements, begin preparing your applications, that then you can see what you need to have beforehand. Calls open primarily in February. So this year now we're preparing calls to open in February. So it's an apt time to begin engaging with the instruments on the website before the calls open next year. The current site that is used for applications, we do take online applications only. I'm almost done, yes. On the NRF Connect system, if you're not acquainted with the system, you can go on, log in, register, put in your CV, and begin preparing yourself once the call opens next year. The application and awarding process is as indicated. It's very simple. Once the call opens, you go on to your NRF Connect profile, look at in terms of how NRF instruments can be utilized by our applicants, by our researchers to progress from either your postgraduate level to become a leading researcher and scholar. So it's not the full scope of our instruments, but you can actually see, if you actively engage the instruments, you can get funding from the honors level up to such a level if you time yourself well and begin preparing your career plans at the moment. So thank you.
Thanks, Edith, and once again, apology for the issue of electricity. But somewhere along the line, I realized that darkness is calming, because I was starting to really enjoy myself there in darkness. I'm going to call upon Professor Temani to also speak to his research chair, which will connect to Edith's presentation. Thereafter, Professor Sodi will come in and also speak to us, and then we'll take 1 or 2, 3. Professor Masoga is also saying there's a book of condolences that we spoke about yesterday. It's taking turns. Please just write a message there for Prof. Masamola. I've announced. Over to you, Prof.
Good afternoon, colleagues, students. I hold a research chair, as the pamphlets will show on that table. You can grab one, so I don't have to repeat what is written here. But I just want to conscientize
Can you see me? Can you see me over the podium? Can you see me over? Oh, come.
When you get dry.
Hi.
So I put just my stick, or how do I do it?
Yeah.
I have my stick.
So Hoffman Blue is going to do this one. And then your Kubis will do this one. Then it's the top.
This one. And you?
I'm here for moral support. I can't always do everything. Then nobody else will ever get them.
Leadership.
I'm here for moral support.
The other thing that they're going to mention,
Indicate if we can start.
yeah, because these guys, they're going to use it online. You can just give them the edition there.
What do we need to say?
Collection.
No, do it, Joel. How? Give me indication if you are ready, you can start. Quarter to 2. 10 to 2.
Yeah, it's projecting.
So that's my slides.
Good, prof. Is it prof?
Okay, hi.
How do you pronounce your name?
My name, Zeger
Zero.
Zeger de Biezer. Zeger de, it's Flemish. And what is it, microphone?
Yes, we press here and then there's.
Do you have a pointer?
They're waiting for a pointer.
Do you have a pointer?
Indicate when you are ready.
Try to point with my finger.
They will bring a pointer. They're organizing a pointer. This
Okay.
one. This one.
He's going to give you a pointer.
Okay.
Let's get the
Where is
pointer.
he sitting?
No, move around.
Can I see it? Because sometimes it's so small. Ah, yeah, okay. Oh, you cannot move the slides? Yes. Look, no strange sides. Okay, not a flexible. But they should stand here, no?
Yes.
You don't have walking.
No, we don't have.
Okay, we don't have.
But they'll hear you. They're not.
Okay,
moving.
yeah, and I can move it here. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
At least. According to my watch, it's already 5 minutes to 2 o'clock, and the intended time was 1:45. So I think it gave us the right to commence with our session. My name is Dr. Sahuda from Physiology, Senior Lecturer in Physiology and Environmental Health. I'll be the one who will be the Master of Ceremony for this particular occasion. First of all, I would love to say University of Limpopo, Faculty of Science and Agriculture, School of Molecular and Life Sciences, Department of Physiology and Environmental Health, student, supporting staff, you are highly welcome to this tricky, interesting talk that we'll be organizing today. Retargeting HIV integration as a potential functional cure strategy of HIV infection. Ladies and gentlemen, just few rules. please keep your cell phone on silent as much as you can. We then have the gents downstairs. I'm going to take you through our very short program. From the Faculty of Science, who's now acting as a dean, he will be doing opening remarks. That will be Professor LJ Mampuru. We will then follow by the introduction of our guest, Dr. Jacobs Hendricks, is a senior lecturer. We will then have our public lecture, Professor Zigar de Besir, and we also have question and session and answer. And lastly, we'll have vote of thanks by Dr. Signy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's highly appreciated for also within our midst. We also have Dr. Paradise Madala from UKZN. You're highly welcome. Hi. Without any waste of time, I will kindly request Professor Mampuru to come and do our opening remarks. Prof.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Dr. Sahuda. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the University Executive Management, standing in for the Office of the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Science and Agriculture, Professor H.J. Siweya, who unfortunately is not here, I will take this opportunity to welcome each one of you, and also, of course, on behalf of the executive management, the office of the VC, who normally is the one who does the official welcoming of all the university activities, Professor N.M. Mokhalong, in absentia, the office of the DVC Research, Innovation and Partnerships, Professor Jessica Singh, who unfortunately also, she's not here on a university assignment. And if you know, you recall that we've got a big evening award ceremony today on the VC's Excellence Awards, which is going to be held somewhere in Polokwane this evening. And also, of course, on behalf of the Office of the DVC Teaching and Learning, we're not only doing research, but we're also doing the teaching aspects. Professor Richard Madachi, who's not here also in absentia, I just wanted to acknowledge those executive management of the university. Now, of course, the school membership, Department of Physiology and Environmental Health in particular, the host of this particular event or public lecture, I welcome you all, and our postgraduate candidates who are here, and staff as well of the School of Molecular and Life Sciences. So colleagues, this is one of our, annual kind of, events that we normally do as an institution, especially liaising with our international collaborators. Is one of our key, strategic imperative for us to have this kind of collaborations. And we are really honored to welcome our speaker of the day, Professor Zika Debisse, from all the way from Belgium. You're most welcome, sir. And postgraduate candidates are here. They want to milk your knowledge, and we hope we are not going to leave anything left in you. So you have to really go all out to give that knowledge to the up and coming researchers. And of course also our colleague from UKZN, Professor, you are also most welcome. And without much ado, colleagues, I don't want to take most of your time. As a faculty, we've got open arms always in terms of these kind of interactions. And we hope that from here, we are going to have students exchange programs with the university in Belgium and very lively interactions that we hope will come out of here. We would have wished that the executive management was here to meet you in person, but we will nonetheless organize that later on. It may be a virtual kind of a meeting that we really need to have interactions with you. We want to make this effort to be fruitful in the long run. Thank you very much, colleagues, and let's enjoy the deliberations from our public speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Program Director.
I think our program is so short, and I really appreciate, I'm not going to stand again introducing the guests and everybody. It will be a free-flow program. So hence, I'll request Dr. Jacob, the Senior Lecturer in Physiology and Environmental Health, and then also he will also handle the question and answer session, and then lastly will be the vote of thanks by Dr. Hansen.
Good afternoon to all. I'm excited to be here, and I also want to welcome those people that have joined us on virtual platforms, right? And I hope you all feel the same as well. That for me, I'm only 2 years at university here, and so for me, this is all excitement. And I just want to thank the audience as well for those who have shown up. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, that you spare your time for us. And we hope today that the speaker will really entice us. Right, so as you know, my name is Jacobus Hendricks, right? And I'm also from the Department of Physiology and Environmental Mental Health. But the question is, of course, what is the context of this public lecture today? I hope I will not be too long because I make quite a long speech because it's my first time, but I hope, I will see where I can summarize.
Professor B. Bantwini, Executive Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Social Science and Education, University of Venda. Most importantly, this award is given to you, essentially sponsored by the University of Limpopo, University of Venda, Sahuda, and the National Institute for the Humanities and Social Sciences. It is a singular honor and privilege to present this special award to your good self.
Colleagues, this brings us to the end of this wonderful conference.
Okay. Sorry, Prof. Masor. Colleagues, this is not for me. It's for the LOC. I couldn't have made it without the support, collaboration, and the friendships that we developed in the LOC. So this is not for me, Jennifer, Laborang, Kenneth, Mambig, all of you guys in the LOC. This is ours, it's not mine. Thank you, Prof.
You see, Professor Makhatlela is a true Ubuntu, how do you call him, a activist. Can I say that? Yes, an academic and an activist. Professor Makhatlela, we thank you and your team for this well done job, and we are very grateful for the work done. Professor Bantwini, and let me start with the VCs in absentia to thank the VCs in absentia. Please convey our gratitude to them. The DVCs, I think when we started, we started with Professor Madaj and then Professor Feza, and this morning we had Professor Singh. We are so grateful for their support. And the two deans, executive deans, you've done a marvelous job. I don't want to repeat what I said last night, that you have really proved to us that the Northern Corridor is capable. And I said it even when we started, that the name was coined by us. Professor Sodi will recall when we started with the Northern Corridor story. So this is the Northern Corridor. So it takes us back to 2015 when we started with the doctoral mentoring program. So I don't want to really waste time. It's just to thank you and wish you well in your work as academics, researchers, and also saying please drive carefully. For those who are like me who drink, do not drink today until you arrive home. No, we're told that there was one prime minister of one homeland system who used to say to Barnabas Kolo, don't drink now, drink after school, meaning when you have finished your education. So drink after school. So that's what I want to say to all of you, and all of the best. And I know that we are almost there with the festive season. Also take care during festive season. Let's go like Devala. Kastwana Saha's Harry, Motaska Devala. But one of our real Devala, Botuaro Naboskevaro Trohela, Rezuelepele on Navato. Botuska Trohel, how to go Trohel, House Alemoto, you are something else. All of the best.